Hey Physique Freaks, how's it going? Scott Tuzana, MetabolicMasterpiece.com. Wrapping up the first week of this cutting phase, and things have been going exceptionally well. I'm down about 3.5, 4 pounds approximately. A rapid drop in weight initial week, that's to be expected. A lot of that coming from food volume in the digestive system, water weight, muscle glycogen, that kind of stuff. I'm going to use this video as an opportunity to share every single meal that I ate for the week, as well as give you the approximate caloric intake that I've been consuming each and every day. This is the approach I'm going to be taking from here on out throughout this cutting phase, is using one day to kind of recap everything I ate and give you guys an opportunity, behind the scenes footage of the meals that I'm eating and how I've been kind of tracking my food intake to help me achieve the results that I'm experiencing. From here on out, I'm kind of looking at about 2 pounds of weight loss a week, maybe 1.5 pounds. We'll see how things go. Aggressive in the beginning and then kind of tapering off as I get closer to my goal. Let's get to those meals. Day one of this cutting phase was Monday, January 2nd. Started the day with a pre-workout shake. It was 1 cup of kefir, 1 scoop of strawberry protein powder, some spinach, and a banana. Post-workout was 8 egg whites, some mixed veggies. I cooked that in a little bit of coconut oil, topped it with some ketchup, and there was a side of mashed potatoes that was left over from the previous night's dinner. Meal number 3, dinner time, 1/2 cup of basmati rice, 1 can of tuna, some mixed veggies, pineapple chunks, and some salsa. Now, this is one of my quick go-to meals if you don't have any dinner planned, any meals prepared ahead of time. It's just one of my quick go-to meals that is pretty easy to whip up. Total calories were about 1,600 for the day, kind of a little lower than what I normally like to do, but after the holidays, all that excess eating, I really wasn't all that hungry and still actually felt pretty full at the end of the day here. All right, so Tuesday, January 3rd, this is the second week of the cutting phase. Started off the day once again with a pre-workout shake, 1 cup of kefir, 1 scoop of strawberry protein powder, some spinach, mixed berries, sprinkled in a little cinnamon there as well. Meal number 2, post-workout, this is some quiche that my wife made. This meal in itself was 900 calories with 550 coming from the pie shells themselves. There's about 1.5 extra large eggs in there. A bit of leftover turkey that we had from the night before, a little bit of ham, some cheddar cheese, and some mixed veggies and seasonings in there. Meal number 3, delicious dinner. We had some smoked salmon. There's a little bit of 100% maple syrup on there that I put on a little glaze at the end while I'm smoking it. There's some pineapple chunks on top of there that I cooked in a little bit of tin foil, put a little cinnamon on top, so that was in there with smoked salmon cooking, and then some mixed veggies on the side. Total calories today were approximately 1,700. I also have 2 cups of coffee in the morning with just a tiny bit of 2% milk in there. So those are some of the things that you may not see pictures of or I may not mention in future videos. But I do have a little bit of milk that I'm accounting for in these total calories. Again, still not feeling very hungry, not experiencing any of that typical kind of hunger that you go through when you when you're going through a cutting phase. So that hasn't hit me yet at this point. All right, so one thing that I noticed from the first 2 meals I was eating, this is one of the benefits of tracking your caloric intake, is that although I was hitting my caloric target, my protein was really, really low. I typically try to get about 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and my protein grams were around 100 and 115 grams for those first 2 days. So that's much lower than I typically would consume, and there's definitely a lot of evidence that shows that when you're in a deficit, there are a lot of benefits to consuming a higher protein diet. Not only is it muscle sparing, but it also tends to improve your satiety level. So you tend to be more satisfied throughout the day, more filling in your stomach when you're having higher protein meals. So my goal from here on out was to kind of make sure that I'm bumping up those calories. You're going to see that here. All right, so here on January 4th, it was time to increase that protein. I started off the day once again with a pre-workout shake, the 1 cup of kefir, the 1 scoop of strawberry protein powder, some spinach, mixed berries, and some cinnamon. Post-workout had 1/2 cup of egg whites, 2 extra large eggs, some mixed veggies that was cooked in a little bit of coconut oil, and topped with some ketchup. Meal number 3, we had some tuna wraps. So there's a can of tuna, a tablespoon of mayo in there, put that on the corn tortillas, topped it with a little bit of cheddar cheese, and some mixed veggies on the side. Meal number 4, to help me get that protein up there, I had some plain Greek yogurt, 175 grams, so it's just under a cup of plain Greek yogurt, some mixed berries, and a scoop of strawberry protein powder. So once again, calories were right around 1,700. Still not quite feeling the hunger levels yet. I can tell that it's probably coming up very soon here, that kind of getting over that excess food in my stomach from the holidays and things. we're going to be starting to feel that deficit pretty darn soon. But really happy. Usually 1,700 calories is my sweet spot. I like to be around there between 1,700 and 2,000. When I want to be a little more aggressive, 1,700, and when I want to kind of slow things down a little bit, I'll keep my calories around 2,000 per day. All right, Thursday, January 5th, started the day a little bit different because we're training later on in the day. So kick things off with 1 cup of egg whites, 2 extra large eggs, some mixed veggies, cooked in just a little bit of coconut oil, topped with some ketchup. Then the pre-workout meal, once again a shake, 1 cup of kefir, 1 scoop of strawberry protein powder, some spinach, mixed berries, and cinnamon. Meal number 3, this was a post-workout meal and our dinner, shepherd's pie, so there's some lean ground beef in there, yellow flesh potatoes, mashed them up with a little bit of basil and 2% milk. There's also some creamed corn in there, onions, and garlic. Total calories for the day were around 1,900 to 2,000. A little tough to say on the portion sizes. There's a bit of a guesstimate there. But it really did feel good to get those little bit of extra carbs in me, and protein was still right up there. So that's 2 days in a row where I hit my protein target as well as my caloric target, and things are really starting to shape up at this point. Friday, kicked off the day pretty much how I have most of the days this week, with a pre-workout shake, the 1 cup of kefir, the 1 scoop of protein powder, the spinach, mixed berries, some cinnamon. Second meal, post-workout meal, was some leftover shepherd's pie from the night before. So at this point, it's mid-afternoon, sitting at around 1,500 calories for the day. That includes the 2 cups of coffee with a little bit of milk that I had in the morning. And I was starting to feel a little bit hungry, but knew that I was going out to play darts with the guys. Every Friday night I get together with my workout partners, my brother-in-laws, and some other friends. We take turns rotating through some of their garages, basically big man caves. We play darts and we have an absolute blast. There's usually a lot of drinking going on, a lot of snacks. But right now I have no desire for alcohol. I've been drinking enough during the past few months, during the muscle building phase, then during the holidays. I just don't have any desire for it right now. So I'm going to do my best to avoid alcohol throughout most of this cutting phase. There'll be the odd occasion here and there where I may have a glass of wine, especially I know Valentine's Day, little things like that. When I'm out with my wife for dinner, something like that, I'll have a little bit here and there. But for the most part, trying to do my best to avoid alcohol. Snack-wise, did really well. The good thing is that we used to, like whenever I take my turn, I shoot my darts, I always feel like I need to munch on something, grab something, take a sip, whether it's a mixed drink or a beer. So I just brought water this evening, and that went down just fine. One thing that we've been doing is bringing mixed veggies. We all kind of take turns bringing our mixed veggies, celery, red peppers. And we have a Greek yogurt dip, a jalapeno Greek yogurt dip that's absolutely delicious. And that was a nice alternative to the chips that we used to pig out on all the time. Now, I did have a couple handfuls of peanuts, which I was trying to avoid for most of the night, but at the end of the night, I just caved in and had a few. The other thing I had was some pepperettes. So peanuts and pepperettes, a little bit calorie dense there, higher in fat. I'm not beating myself up. I knew I was going to use this as an opportunity to refeed. I'll probably use Fridays as my refeed day, knowing that I will be going out. These treats will be around. Still, next Friday, I do plan on being a little bit better than I was this time around. All in all, I ended up in a slight surplus on Friday. Again, it's an approximation, not too certain how many calories were in those pepperettes. Didn't measure out the dip that I was having with the celery, and didn't measure out the peanuts that I was having, but I'd guess that I was in a slight surplus for the day. Now Saturday, because I didn't get in till about 2:30, 2:45 on Friday evening, Saturday morning, I slept until 11 a.m. So breakfast was really delayed. I had my 2 cups of coffee at that time of day. Didn't have my first meal, it's probably about I think 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, when I had a shake. Once again, this time it was 1 cup of kefir, a scoop of chocolate protein powder, a banana, and spinach. So nice, mixing things up, getting a little variety in there. Second meal was dinner time. We had a roast that was cooking in the slow cooker, along with some sweet potatoes and carrots, and some garlic and onions in there as well. Just really, we love our slow cooker, crock pot. Just soaks up all the flavor. I was feeling a little hungry leading up to dinner time, and like about half hour before dinner, I was like, man, I was hungry. I could have eaten right now. Dinner was ready. I was waiting for Angie and Noelle to come home. So I ended up grabbing 3 Lindor chocolates and having those. Really not too bad. I mean, as I knew I was going to be in a pretty good caloric deficit for the day, and I knew that wouldn't do much damage. So total calories for that day was approximately 1,700. So it seemed to be my average though most of the week. Most days I was around 1,700 calories. I had one day around 1,600, one day around 2,000, 1,900, 2,000, and one day that was in a slight surplus, which would probably, if I had to roughly guess, based on everything I was calculating there, maybe about 2,600 calories. So that's just barely a slight surplus for me. So as you can see, not overly aggressive with this deficit. I'm only weighing in 155 pounds right now. I'm 5'6" and a half, 41 years old. So this is not overly aggressive for me, yet still experiencing some really nice weight loss for the week. Really excited to see the progress I'm going to experience in this upcoming week, sharing all the meals I eat with you next week. Take care. Thanks for sharing this journey with me. Catch you next time.